Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Williams. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is, at Egberto Williams. Let us engage. It is politics done right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, folks, welcome to one more edition of Politics and Random. Egberto Williams, your host. Thank you so kindly for being a part of the show. We are going to have a great show for you today. Look, folks, the time is real now, and we have to take care of business. But before we get started, Don, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
You know why you did that, buddy. You know why you did that. Look, man, you guys are doing some great work around here. Folks, before we get started, I want to tell you something that is very, very important. We are in fund drive mode, but as I've always told you, Politics Done Right to bring you a show, whether we are in fund drive or not, and we have a great show for you today. The blog of the week, you have to stick around for that. The blog of the week is very, very important. It's going to be somewhat tactical. It's going to be telling you something that we, those folks who want that blue wave to materialize, we have to do what is necessary for that to occur. So don't think it's just going to happen. But by the way, do we have anybody out there in Pledge Central right now yet or not?
You got me.
I got you. Well, good. How are we doing so far?
Right now, we are waiting for people to call 713-526-5738, 713-526-5738.
Absolutely, folks. Let me tell you, you know that we bring you good music, good everything over the last, how many decades now? Several decades since before you were born, Don?
Before I was born. Now you're making me do math. No, don't do that, man.
But anyhow, we have a great show for you today, folks, and we're going to get started. What I want to make sure, though, is that our levels are right with you, because I've been playing with this. I don't know what happened earlier, Don, but we had some issues with some leveling, but I think we kind of have that straightened out right now. Anyhow, folks, title of the show today is Remember the Oilers versus the Buffalo Bills. Remember that game? Anybody old enough here to remember that game?
I saw it on YouTube.
I guess that counts.
You know what? For millennials, that count, okay? That count. It's okay. Anyhow, remember the Oilers versus the Buffalo Bills blue wave. This thing ain't over. Subtitle: Many are convinced that midterm 2018 is a foregone conclusion. Democrats will ride a blue wave right back into political relevance throughout the country, statewide and federally. But folks, hold your horses. Anyhow, look, I hear from concerned activists every day. They believe the Democratic Party and its pundits think that a Democratic landslide, a blue wave, is a foregone conclusion. They see the enthusiasm on the ground. However, they are cognizant of the voter suppression games that the GOP is playing throughout the country, as well as the complacency of those who would think their vote does not matter. And interestingly enough, in the house right now with me, before we get to the blog of the week, I have some young folks that I am expecting a whole lot out of going forward in the future. We have Ciara from the, who is a candidate for the, I mean, she's the one who kind of brought us to bringing this group on air. Ciara, why don't you introduce your group and let us know exactly what you have planned, what you guys have planned.
Well, peace and blessings. Thank you so much for having us on the show today, Alberto. My name is Ciara Sewsbury. I'm actually running for the secretary position for the NAACP Houston, and we are running as a slate. So with me today, I have Edison Titus. Why did I say Tyson? I smell chicken, maybe. But, but yeah, Edison Titus, who's running for first VP for the NAACP Houston. Lloyd Ford is running for president, and Richard Bonton is running for treasurer. And so pretty much we basically want to utilize all of our different resources, you know, myself having a media and communications background, Edison having a law background, Lloyd being very heavy an entrepreneur and community activist, and then Bonton being very involved in politics and financing. And so using the NAACP as the glue to bring us all together.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about why is it that you decided, or you all decided that you wanted to do something. This is sort of an old organization made up of a whole lot of old people that I don't know if they're doing new things. What do you have to offer? What do you think you're going to do to make that organization, in my opinion, relevant again?
Well, exactly what you just said. It's a very old organization with older leaders. And of course, we respect our, you know, senior citizens, our leadership. And what we want to do is take all the wisdom that they've already been sharing, you know, and put it into the community and bring in some fresh, innovative ideas. And so utilizing, you know, like I say, all of our resources together and revamping some of the things to where it connects with the public, you know, it's more relatable to what's taking place right now.
That sounds beautiful. What are you going to bring?
So we are working on community development. So utilizing the media so that, you know, we hear a lot of people say, oh man, the NAACP, like, what have they done for us? Like, we don't know what's going on. So utilizing more community engagement, having more events that are more relatable to younger people, you know, millennials. So that way we can get involved and be the future of what's to come. And so utilizing the media to educate people on what's going on to build that relationship with them. Policy reform, you know, there's a lot of things that are taking place that are kind of a little outdated within the organization. And so, you know, like I say, bringing in some innovation. Titus is really great with the bylaws and, you know, knowing what's taking place. And so utilizing his strengths to see, you know, okay, how can we reform these policies to where the community wants to be more involved and want to find the NAACP's reputation on a more, I guess, how can I say this in a positive way? Well, in a more positive way.
Well, I mean, I think that is all good. And in fact, if I'm a full-time political activist, and what I try to tell people is we are not going to move forward until the young people take over, until the young people come in and start doing things. The biggest problem that we have right now is the older fogies like myself have a hard time giving up power. Okay, and that is what you will find when you as you run. So my question to you, and maybe this goes to you, Edison, and that is, how do you intend to break through those older folk who continue to want to do that? The reality is, you would hope to run into a whole lot of folks like me that says, we cede power to you. How do you take power?
So first, you know, I'd like to say, if you look at other groups of people, they all have pretty much the same trajectory. You have young people who need to learn. You have a middle group who can execute, and then you have the elders who have wisdom, but they have lost a step because they're, you know, a little older, right?
Sure.
And so there's a seamlessness where the elders teach the young, and the folks in the middle, they execute, and eventually when they become elders,
they relinquish.
Right. So the Black community, for many different reasons, and everyone has an opinion on it, it doesn't happen the same way. So in order to break through, as you put it, I think that it's a multi-step thing. The first thing is you have to show that you're not looking to scorch the earth. You're not looking to not work with the elders. That's the first thing. The second thing is you have to make it abundantly clear that you're not going away, that throughout history, innovation always wins the day. The new wave always takes the older wave. And the last thing we want is for the current old guard to die in office, to die in power and leave a vacuum.
Exactly.
Right. So instead of recreating the wheel, we're here, we're not going away, we're pushing forward with or without. But I think that when they see, okay, they're not going away, this is not a fly-by-night moment, then they agree to start working with.
The last point that you made, I think, is actually very important for folks. You're not trying to push them away, but you want to make sure that if they really care about community, as they say they do not leave a vacuum. So that is exactly right. So then tell me a little bit before we go and continue further with the program, and then if you we'll come back again. Tell me exactly now, what are you doing and what do you want the community to know about you guys and what you want the community to do? Whichever one, whoever has the answer.
Stab at it. Well, for one, we want to bridge the gap between the generations. You know, I really like how you worded that, and which is, we believe in order to learn, in order to lead, we must know how to follow. And so it's like taking all that wisdom that they have, you know, and the bylaws, the teachings and everything, so that way we can implement that into, you know, new innovative ways. And so bridging the gap between the generations is important. Me particularly with the secretary position, being the organizer, you know, I'm in media. I do a lot of the press releases, you know, just for different clients. I wanted to utilize those same expertise and push it towards NAACP so that we can change the perception that the community has of the NAACP now.
Sierra and Edison, let me go ahead and do a little bit more of the program. I don't know how much time you have to stick around a bit, but I got to get some. First of all, we got to get some money in here because this is a fun drive. And secondly, this is political season and people are needing to hear some stuff. So folks, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Let me tell you something, and this is important. I want you to really listen to what I'm saying here. The right wing is flushed in cash. It's a corporatocracy that's taking care of business. The people that are all against you, the people that use you as a commodity, those are the people who fund the current media. All we have as small independent sources is you. And unless we can hear from you, unless you can provide us with the necessary resources to stay on air, with the necessary resources to inform, this country, if you think it's bad right now, it cannot get any better unless we start informing. So continuing with the program, folks, continuing with the program. As I mentioned before, however, they are cognizant of the voter suppression games that GOP is playing throughout the country. That is the reason why we have what we have today. It is time for all of us to redouble our efforts to work and make sure everyone gets to the polls. Anyway, KPFT is beginning its fall fund drive today. We need you to continue to support it if you have been a donor before, and we need you to join the family if you haven't been before, especially in these times where we cannot trust the mainstream media, who is owned by the plutocracy. Your support means we have the funds to continue serving you unadulteratedly. So please support KPFT now. You will ensure we can continue to get our message out and serve you and this country. So folks, you know what you have to do. But before we get to the program, you know what we have to do. Before I get to the program, I want to remind all our listeners that KPFT is a bastion of intelligent information and voices. As a political activist myself, my favorites are Think Wing Radio with
Mike Honig on Mondays at 2 p.m.
And of course, we have Open Journal with
Dwayne Bradley and crew on Mondays at 6 p.m.
Jazz Latino, Afro-Cuban Latin Jazz at its best, hosted by
Juan Flores on Tuesdays at noon.
And the show we heard previously right here, Jenner Asian Radio, a weekly radio program featuring an eclectic mix of Asian, underground, Bagra, Bollywood funk, Hindi, Rai, and all that good stuff. And that is when?
Thursdays, 12 to 2 p.m.
And of course, we have Really, but Not Really, a hip-hop and R&B parody show on
Wednesdays at 10 p.m. by Rosemont.
And then there's Border Radio, and she comes before us. And who's that?
You mean after us? With
After Us.
Susan Darrow. And not to mention also, we have other shows like Progressive Forum, Air Voices. We have so many shows that preach the progressive gospel, if you will, actually go against the grain. Of course, every time we talk about this, we can't sit here and just give you the full schedule. these are just some of the programs that we have.
And Don has it exactly right, folks. Don has it exactly. We have so many good progressive programs here from very well-researched sources. Anyhow, check out our full schedule at kpft.org, where you can find programming from music to politics to medicine to the eclectic. KPFT is listener-supported public community radio station, so please remember that if you like what you hear, visit kpft.org and ensure we remain a strong, viable community radio station that provides news, programming, and information not influenced by the
corporatocracy.
Absolutamente sí, hermanos míos. So, folks, let me tell you something. We need to get those phones ringing. Don, you have the camera out there. Tell me some phones are ringing. Tell me some people are answering phones.
No.
That's not good. That's not good. 713.
Let's give them a show.
713-526-5738.
You know, Egberto.
Yes, sir.
Whenever we do these fund drives,
yes,
right, we always say, please call. Let's make sure the lights
stay on. Yeah.
This station is going to grow the same way as, of course, the two your two guests have.
Yeah, the NAACP, or what they intend to do with the NAACP. Yeah.
We as a station have to grow, and that's something that we don't talk about anytime we go through these fund drives. Is what are you giving funds to? We say membership a lot of times, like people actually understand what membership is. Everybody doesn't understand what membership is. $25 lets you become a voting member to control what the LSB does. What is the LSB? That is our board that governs and gives ideas to the general manager or program director, or the way that we do things here. The biggest thing here is you're giving money to a station that is actually talking about the things that no one else is talking about.
Absolutely so.
We are not moving towards anything with fear. That's what this station gives you. $25 is the least that you can give to go, you know what, I want to be a part of someone who doesn't have to fear to say something against the corporatocracy and not being part of the corporatocracy. That's what this station does. When we ask you to call 713-526-5738, we're asking you for more than just keeping the lights on, but for us to expand and go into YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, every single way that you consume. We get it. We get it so much that you don't just listen to the radio.
There's a change coming. Folks, there's a change coming, and we need you to fund that change to help move this along. 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. I know you're waiting on the blog of the week. That's what they're waiting on. That's why the phones are not ringing. They're waiting on the blog of the week.
Phones are ringing.
Oh, they're ringing.
Yeah.
Keep them ringing. We want some more ringing. Anyway, let's go ahead and do the blog of the week, and we'll come right back to our guests here.
Okay.
So let's go. What time it is?
It's time for the weekly blog post.
Okay, folks. Blog post. The name of the blog post is the blue wave in the bag? Keep the Houston Oilers and Buffalo Bills in mind. And here we go. Signs continue to indicate that there should be a blue wave. In fact, most of the year or special elections went to Democrats. Who would have believed that under any circumstance a Democratic senator would emerge from Alabama? Don, Alabama. Can you believe that? Moreover, Democrats won even a few reliable red seats. Republicans' enthusiasm had been in the tank for some time. Democrats were the hungry ones. They smelled blood, and they were ready for the kill. Then came the fight over Brett Kavanaugh. It was evident to many that Kavanaugh is at best a drunk, at worst a sexual abuse and misogynist based on many stories from those who knew him. How would the fight over his nomination and his subsequent confirmation change the midterm 2018 dynamics? Soon after, Republican enthusiasm started surging. According to the news, they are getting outraised. They are struggling in suburbia, and their top guy is dividing America. But suddenly, 5 weeks from Election Day, Republicans are seeing a tangible evidence of a spike in GOP enthusiasm that has eluded them all cycle. It's got to be Kavanaugh, said Republican pollster Robert Blizzard, coming to the same conclusion as GOP operatives nationwide. The Democrats' effort to block President Trump's Supreme Court nominee are backfiring with Republicans who were previously apathetic about the midterms but are now angry and engaged. McConnell said that Democrats' resistance against Brett Kavanaugh did something Republicans were unable to do: activate their base. Listen keenly. The ironies of ironies. This has actually produced an incredible surge of interest among these Republican voters going into the fall election. McConnell told USA Today in an interview just before Kavanaugh was confirmed to the Supreme Court, "We've all been perplexed about how to get our people as interested as we know the other side is. Well, this has done it." In other words, he's saying the Democrats activated the Republicans. Interesting. Two recent polls were perplexing. I found these quite perplexing. The conservative-leaning generic ballot Rasmussen poll is even at 45%, while the CNN poll shows it at 54-41 in favor of Democrats. The CNN polls point out something more profound about Democrats. They are prepared for disappointment, even with high enthusiasm and with a clear majority saying they support Democrats. But for all that good signs in the poll for Democrats, they had not made gains in expectations. Half of Republicans say they expect Republicans to remain in control of Congress after the elections, while just a third think Democrats will win control, 34% down from 40% who thought they'd take over Congress in August. On balance, more say the country would do better off if the Democrats take control. Now, here's the kicker. Republicans should be entirely on the defensive on health care, a booming economy for the few, a tax cut that will force the reduction of Social Security and Medicare, the poisoning of their base with deregulations, low unemployment with no post-inflation wage gain, and much more. But they are building a clear message. Listen, folks, Republicans are currently, in these last 27 days, they are building a clear message. Remember what I said about the Oilers versus the New York team? The Bills, thank you. Buffalo Bills. In politics, one must put the opposition on the defensive first. Remember the phrase, if you are explaining, what are you doing? You're losing. Yeah, you can say it in the mic. If you're explaining what you're doing. If you're explaining, you're losing. Republicans are starting to build a cohesive message for all conservative and right-wing media. Politicians and pundits are rolling off their tongue ad nauseum. And they are doing it in a convincing and conniving manner to those they need to reach. So before I continue with this, I'm going to address my NAACP guest right here. One of the issues that are going to be interesting in this election is that there's one thing with the GOP and their base. These guys are very active and they mean what they say, and they go out there. They're less than progressive. They're a lot less Republicans than progressives. Are you guys doing something in the field? Are you guys showing your what is that word? Your grit out there to say, hey, the people that you spoke about earlier in Third Ward or whatever, are you guys doing what's necessary to get these folks activated?
Yes. However, we're taking a slightly different approach.
And that is?
If you look at the Republicans, why is it their base supports them no matter what?
They're fearful.
That's a big part of it.
But give me the answer that you wanted to give.
The answer I wanted to give was that their leaders are effective in pandering.
I love that. Yes, right.
They get something done.
Right.
You can dislike Trump. You can dislike what's his name, the majority leader, McConnell, Cruz, and all these types of folks. But their leaders get something done that they can take back to them and say, hey, look, I think, and this is just my own personal opinion, I think that Democrats who are mighty in favor of liberal policies and progression and whatnot, I think the reason why they are not as activated as they could be is because there is a history of Democratic leadership that just isn't as fierce as Republican leadership.
And they acquiesce to a certain type of they don't fight as hard. They compromise too much, and they generally don't start on the left. They start in the middle where they think they can get you to go.
Correct. So they're always on the defensive as opposed to on the
offensive. And so
you're
going to make a good president of the NAACP.
Vice president.
Vice president. You're going to make a good vice president.
Our NAACP is a non-political organization.
I understand that.
But my personal opinion of what we are trying to do as individuals is to basically put the right people in position. And I'm talking about city council, mayor, state legislator, Congress.
I was just talking about the congruence. I wasn't trying to make you make a political statement as somebody running from the NAACP. I was just talking about congruency here. So
okay.
we're okay.
All right.
We're okay. All right. Continuing, folks. Continuing. Let's see. Republicans were ready to confirm Brett Kavanaugh, irrespective of Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's testimony. In hindsight, that would have been a PR disaster. Long-suffering Jeff Flake threw Republicans, not Democrats or women, a lifeline. He got the confirmation delayed for a week for an FBI investigation. It turned out the FBI investigation was a farce, but presented the necessary point to add to a winning Republican midterm 2018 narrative. So you see what Flake did for them. He allowed them to have that narrative that we cared, we investigated, it is okay. Pre, during, and post-Kavanaugh confirmation hearing, progressives have been peacefully protesting the ascension of a misogynist to the Supreme Court. They got more coverage on the mainstream media than they usually would get relative to the disproportionate coverage right-wing small protests tend to get. And the right wing decided to repackage it all into what they hope is a winning message in the closing weeks leading up to the midterm 2018 election. Folks, don't think because they're down now that this narrative cannot grow fast. It can. And this is why I'm urging folks right now, stay engaged, get busy. Now the message every Republican politician, media outlet, and pundits are pushing is clear. They repeat ad nauseum that the protesters were mobs while packaging videos deceivingly. You know, that's a fancy word, mobs, easy, M-O-B-S, mobs. It drops off your tongue easily. Repeating lies sometimes cauterize into truths in the psyche of the uninformed. The Republican bogus FBI investigation allowed Trump to go on a national cable and broadcast news all at once during the Kavanaugh second swearing in to say that Kavanaugh was found innocent and that the Ford accusation was a hoax. He was on ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, HLN, and every channel at the same time saying that it looks like let me do a quick interruption. Thank you so kindly, Billy. Thank you so kindly, Bruce. It's because of folks like you that we can do what we do, that we can keep the people uninformed, and that we can make sure the progressive message gets out there. Thank you so kindly. Continuing with the blog of the week, the Republican bogus FBI investigation allowed Trump to go on a national cable and broadcast news all at once during the Kavanaugh second swearing in to say that Kavanaugh was found innocent and that the Ford accusation was a hoax. There it is, a legitimate way to defame a woman without taking the blame. You see? The narrative, folks, the narrative, the psychology behind how they work. I wish the other side worked like that. And you may, folks don't necessarily deconstruct all of this immediately, Don. They generally don't deconstruct it. It happens. They have one of the best, I don't remember his name right now, one of the best persons who knows how to wordsmith. Mm-hmm. They have the best wordsmither on the planet. I forgot his name. You can look it up. Wordsmither for the Republican. It's amazing. Most Democrats and progressives know the president was full of it. The problem is many Americans do not realize the president outright lied. Did any significant leader of the Democratic Party fight her way to the microphone and TV camera to refute the lie? No. They left Dr. Ford hanging. Here you have the president says Dr. Ford is a hoax. They brought this woman to Congress. They brought her in the halls of Congress to spill her guts. Did the Democrats come to her defense when the president said what he said? Which woman going forward is going to put herself in that position going forward? The Democrats or the progressives? What happened? Where were they?
On the defensive.
Thank you. Now, it is still not too late. However, anyone who remembers the Buffalo Bills comeback on the Houston Oilers should have pause. To date, it is still the largest comeback in NFL history. Democrats could themselves make history if they don't fight as if they are 10 points behind. They must put Republicans on the defensive, making them defend the ACA pre-existing condition sabotage, unheard of deficits, poisoning of their constituents with deregulations, and much more. For my dear listeners in Houston, Texas, folks, you know where Cancer Alley is. You know, right down Pasadena and all those areas. Cancer Alley. And guess what? Most of those people in Cancer Alley voted for Trump and his protege. Most of them voted there. And here's the deal. Those are the people that will be getting the most out of the poisons that are going to be released from the deregulations that they just passed. We are here to inform. Please give us a call at 713-526-5738. Did you hear that on mainstream media? Did you hear did the mainstream media ever frame the thing and say, well, it's amazing, Trump just deregulated several industries, but ironically, the industries that he deregulated is going to disproportionately poison the people who voted for him. So you voted for your death. You voted for your illness. Come on, let's see that. Who's telling you that? We are here on progressive radio, on community radio, the ones who are not owned by the corporatocracy, the ones who don't get donations from or paid by advertisers, but needs your support. 713-526-5738. Or phone's ringing.
Yeah, not right now. Not yet. Don't forget, it's like 6 seconds behind. Actually, It's 8. What I noticed is that once Kavanaugh came up, people start getting activated again.
Yes.
The whole Greg Abbott versus Lupe Valdez thing, the whole dynamic, people don't care about it. I see the way that people care about Cruz versus Beto because that's exciting.
Right.
Kavanaugh is exciting.
Right.
Everything should be exciting.
Right.
We have actual elections that dictate how you live day by day.
Exactly.
If you aren't trying to be informed on this stuff, you will die because you were misinformed. You allow yourself to be misinformed. This is the problem. Just because something isn't salacious does not mean that it's not good or bad for you. Pay attention to all of it, because the things that they say that are very light will kill you.
Sometimes
very
it's
hard.
Deceiving. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So, folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. It is so important that we hear from you. I mean, and not only that, we gave Politics Done Right one of the darn highest quotas now. So, I mean, you guys have to kind of...
Well, who did that?
Oh, you did that. Folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Let me finish the blog and then get back to these great folks here in the studio with us. They must put Democrats must put Republicans on the defensive, making them defend the ACA pre-existing condition sabotage, unheard of deficits, poisoning of their constituents with deregulation, and much more. Democrats must be directing the narrative on the issues that will help all, todos, completamente todos americanos in their daily lives. They must not allow Republicans to put them on the defensive at all. Folks, we need to get busy. Folks, 713-526-5738. Mis amigos latinos, llámanos al 713-526-5768. Necesitamos oír de todos. Y esta elección ahora mismo, te voy a decir algo de esa elección. Ellos piensan que los latinos no van a votar. Eso es lo que están diciendo. Están diciendo que los latinos no van a votar. Vamos a tener que mostrarlos, pero además de eso necesitamos que llamen a nuestro número 713-526-5738. El número es 713-526-5738. Okay, we have some great folks. Yes, sir.
You said something.
Yes.
You said deregulation poisoning people.
Yes, sir.
Deregulation doesn't just poison people. It actually takes people out of their jobs.
Thank you, brother.
It's one of those things that people don't understand, that the deregulation made it so many companies could buy other companies,
right,
and nobody even care,
right,
and then all of a sudden your job's gone.
right.
If people don't notice, and I'm not going to say the exact brands and names, but you notice certain cell phone companies go, oh, don't worry about our name. We're somebody else now.
Right.
That's part of deregulation. You know how many people lose jobs? Everything that you spend your money on goes up in price when deregulation happens. And it hits home. But people, whenever we're saying we're poisoning the community, Cancer Alley, only that affects those people.
Right.
No, deregulation affects everyone.
Don, what you're saying is very important. And let me tell you why it's so important. Because when Trump ran, and for those people in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Iowa that voted for him, when he preached to them about them holding their jobs and remanufacturing here in the United States, he didn't inform them about that specific point. I am going to Washington, Trump. I am Trump. I'm going to Washington to deregulate. So I told you I was keeping your job, but brother, I'm sending it away. Brother, I'm sending it away. But anyhow, folks, 713-526-5738. Anybody on the phones yet? We need those phones to ring. Phones, 713-526-5738.
Don't wait till the end of the show.
Don't wait till the end of the show. You always do that to us, please.
Yeah, it makes us very nervous. We feel bad about ourselves the whole show, trying to make sure that you have an actual educated show, and then you guys wait to call to the end while we're sitting here trying to pitch and tell you 713-526-5738.
And, you know, let me just say, we have a book. My book is still here. As I see it, Class Warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom. Look, $120 pledge gives you that. And here's the deal. You don't have to come up with $120, right, Don? You don't have to. You
can spread it out.
Spread it out. Spread it out. I mean, could you buy me a couple of coffees a month? Come on, you can buy me a couple of coffees a month. And by the way, that 220 is a token, and it goes all to the stations. Egberto Willies get absolutely zero. Don and those guys, they don't pay for this stuff, man. They say, come on and do your activism here for free. That's all you can get here. No, but actually we do it. We don't do it for free. We do it because we feel the success when we get things done, don't we? Don't we feel the success when we get things done?
That's a loaded question for me, because even when we get stuff done, then I moved the goalpost so we could get more.
Well,
stuff
then
done.
that's what we do. But still, yeah, we you know, we don't have to go with the differential equations here now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. Anyway, folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Again, the book is As I See It, Class Warfare, the Only Resort to Right-Wing Doom. And we have some other goodies as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our distinguished guests here, and then we'll go back with other offers that we have. So let's see. Ciara, tell me what you want to tell the community and what you want to tell folks to do in order for us to get a change in the NAACP.
Well, we are the next generation leaders and the youngest to ever campaign for the NAACP Houston positions. And so in order for change, you know, we need everyone to get a membership. So the deadline to get a membership is October the 15th. We're actually hosting a membership drive tonight. Actually, it's our second. Actually, no, it's our third membership drive. We actually had one yesterday as well.
How did it go?
It was wonderful. It's actually the second annual wrongful conviction awareness event, and so, you know, tying in to prison reformation policy as we were discussing earlier. And so there's a lot of different judges there, people running for senator and state representative. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, she came out and presented an award, as well as members from City of Houston. Councilman Kubash office came to present an award. So it was a really great opportunity for us to pitch ourselves, you know, allow us to introduce ourselves with people in the community so they can see the different things that we're a part of. So tonight we'll actually be at the address. It's from 7 p.m. to midnight, you know, since, you know, give people some time to get off of work. And yeah, it's a nice little happy hour. We'll be able to, you know, introduce ourselves, shake hands. People can come and actually register right there on the spot.
What's the membership in? Do you have any idea the membership amount of folks that currently in the NAACP in Harris County or in Houston?
I think it's roughly around 1,000.
Okay.
So we seek to swell that number greatly once we get in office.
Well, and with the young, bringing a new crowd.
Right. And do you wonder how we plan on doing that?
Yes, that's what I want to know.
Real question here. And I know it sounds stupid.
No, no question is
what
stupid.
does the NAACP do? Because we're talking about it, but what do they do?
Are you asking what they're supposed to be doing,
That's
or
what I was
what they
about to
actually
say.
do?
That's give me both.
Well, what they're supposed to be doing, if you look at what their mission statement and what the law says, it's a civic organization that's for the advancement of colored people when it comes to politics, when it comes to economics, education, things of that nature, housing, so on and so forth. What they actually do is they throw galas
And comedy shows.
Oh yeah, and comedy shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you guys going to do?
So we have a lot of different ideas, but one of my favorite ideas, it's a pet project of mine, is, you know, let's say that you are a accountant, right? You can join the NAACP, get on our approved vendors list. We go to the schools, TSU, U of H, HCC, and we get accounting students, junior and above, right? And then now, let's say you're a small or medium-sized business and you need accounting services. You come to the NAACP, you get a membership, you get a certain number of free hours, right? You get work done by the student. The student gets experience. The student also gets his work quality checked, quality assured by the accountant who's out there doing it real time. Once that individual, that business runs out of free hours, he has to hire someone. So who's he most likely going to hire?
Some of the people that he had working with him.
Correct.
That is an ingenious way of actually getting people employed and young people employed right out of college, and giving a business an opportunity to actually see the work before he has to make a commitment. I think those are innovative things folks like to see. There's a purpose in doing that. Let me tell you, folks, that those of you that are listening, those that are currently members of the NAACP. I was a member of the NAACP until about 2 years ago. In fact, I took the kids over to Washington, D.C. on a bus. We took a bus to Washington, D.C. with some kids for the Freedom March that started with Dr. Barber and a few others. So, you know, we did that, and yeah, it was a very good organized event. I'm not easily impressed, folks, but these young people in here seem to mean business. If you're an NAACP person, do give them a good look, see what they're talking about, and consider voting for these folks if they tickle your fancy. And you know what I mean by tickle your fancy. Go ahead, Edison.
Can we count on the both of y'all to get a membership?
You know I'm going to get a membership if I believe in you, and I just said I believed in you, didn't I?
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, you know. Look, what's interesting is whenever you're doing something, marketing is important and ideas is very important as well. And you come across here and came on a microphone and you gave a spiel that pretty much tell people what you guys want to do, and you did it without a stammer, without a stutter. That's pretty good. That tells you make a good PR person going out there. And Edison, I like your ideas, folks. 713-526-5738. Again, that is 713-526-5738. Folks, we need you to give us a call. We need you to give us a call, and we don't want you to hear all those coughs either. But we do need. You know, we
Please don't die.
No, I'm trying not to. No, I had a question, and then I had something in my throat.
Yeah.
We can count on your membership, right? Both Ciara and Edison, as you ask us to.
It's a two-way street.
Okay, no, not really, but yes.
Actually,
basically they cost the same. Even exchange.
No, actually, it's not an even. Politics done right is. As I see it, class warfare, the only resort to right-wing doom is a $120 No, I'm kidding. I'm just okay. Folks, 713-526-5738. Please give us a call. We have a great gifts for you. Do you have any other thing other than politics, other than, as I see it on the list that people would want? That there's a thumb drive is still going, right?
Thumb drive is always going.
Let's tell them about that thumb drive.
$200 for that thumb drive, and then of course the peace t-shirts. The peace t-shirts that we're giving away for $50. Yeah, I just said it, 50. Let's get rid of these t-shirts. We're getting a new logo. We're getting a new everything. We need to stop focusing so much on the history of this place, unless we're actually talking about history at kpft.org, which you can email and talk about everything that we have done over these past, 49 years. Yeah. You can email us. History at KPFT.org.
But not only that, Don, it's not only about emailing. You have a wonderful website that will always have the great history that KPFT.org has.
And history is just that, and we have to make it every single day. So the history is changing, where we have new logos, we have new designs, we have new people coming, new excitement, new energy.
New blood.
Well, new energy that's coming, that this is what you are pledging towards. It's something that you believe in because it's new, it's better, and it's improving. We're not going to maintain here. We are going to grow as a station, and we can only grow with the community helping us.
And you know what? We know that we have a responsive community. We know we have a great community. Houston is one of the best towns, one of the best cities out here. But you know, KPFT is a jewel that's been here. KPFT is a jewel that needs to be here, and KPFT is the only jewel that give you what we give you. So please give us a call at 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Please, folks, we need to hear from you. Look, you know, I came here ready, Don, to give a whole sort of a spill about why we are in this situation. Well, let me look. Here's the bottom line. We are all complaining about Trump. We are all complaining about what conservatives done to us. We are complaining about all these kinds of things, okay? I want to be honest with us all. We bear responsibility for a lot of it. Every single one of our diverse communities, we bear the responsibility for this. We did not execute, number one. Number two, others have shown much more interest, not only with the work of their hands, with the work of their deeds, but financially, the other side have shown a whole lot more worth to their cause, to their ideology, than we have. We know that what our ideology stands for. We know that the progressive values that we support are values that are not just for one group of folk, but these are American values. These are values for all Americans moving forward. These are values that support us all, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, whether you're rich, because what we believe in is humanity. The only way we get there, I mean, everybody listening to me right now, I am almost going to guarantee you have a cell phone with a hell of a lot of features. I'm looking at two youngsters in here with cell phones with a hell of a lot of features. You have cable TV. You have, what's the Fire Stick thing from Amazon? You have, what's the one from Google? Chromecast. You have all these things that, you know, many of these things cost quite a bit. Something like a membership in KPFT to support you, to ensure that even if you're not listening today, even if you're not listening right now, you know that we have the cause at hand. You know, we are spreading the message. Not only, remember, it's not, if you're listening to us, you already are in the know. But let's give me this. If you are listening to KPFT, there's a good chance you're in the know. However, that guy that is going down I-10, that guy that is riding on I-45, that just happened to channel surf and reached and was able to get to the channel, and there's something that tickled him or tickled her, that person is the person that you are helping. And when you get that person, when you allow that person to hear the message, he is not just helping himself. She is not just helping herself. They are helping us all, because it's the volume of people that we have to get to. It's being able to spread the message so that in the quantities, in the amount of folk that we get out there, that they will be there when we need the vote, that the people will be there for the vote. 526-5738. It's a beautiful day outside. Why don't you just make that call and then you can go enjoy outside? 713.
You want me to do traffic and weather?
Yes, go ahead. That's fine. No, not really.
288 is backed up.
Okay.
We all know what the traffic
but folks,
is.
713-526-5738. We really need those phones to ring. They're not ringing as they normally would at the end now. So I ask you, I know this is political season. I know a lot of people are asking you and asking you and asking you, but you know, you have to be discriminative with where you give. You have to be discriminative with where you give. And we ask you to come to KPFT 713-526-5738. Don?
713-526-5738. Of course, folks, we have a new premium. Hot off the presses. You could get KPFT socks. If you're a person who wears those ugly type socks that look like just crazy looking socks, you can actually get those socks for $90. A pledge of $90 gets you KPFT socks. Now, I know what people are thinking. Why would I get socks that says KPFT on it? Well, why do you get cups that say KPFT on it? Why do you get shirts that say KPFT on it? Why do you get anything that says any brand on it? Because
you're supporting them.
After Kaepernick was actually revealed to be signed by Nike, everybody started buying Nike.
Right.
You know, oh, I got a Nike shirt, I got Nike shoes. Look, KPFT has signed on to the community. That's way bigger. I'm not saying what Kaepernick did was big, small. We know that he did what was right. That's what KPFT does every single time we get on these mics. We are fighting for what's right. We are fighting for the community. We represent you. So why don't you represent us? 713-526-5738.
Absolutely. So, folks, we need to hear from you. We only have 8 minutes left to get those phones ringing. Please give us a call at 713-526-5738. 8 minutes is all we have to make a very large quota that we need to meet. Because, again, remember, there's a whole lot of changes going here. Your money is not going into a black box. You'll be able to see exactly where your money was spent. We're talking about new video processes. We're talking about new, better studio control. We're talking about a whole lot of new stuff that we have to get. We
already have a new board.
There you go.
If I explain everything that we have now, then people will just go, oh my God, what are they doing? See, the finished product is something amazing that whenever you go and look at videos of KPFT from 1994, you can't tell the difference besides the grainy video of the station then and the station now. That's going to have to change because this is a growth of a station. We cannot maintain the same status quo as a station. We have to grow as a station, and growing means more programming, different ways. We have HD2, which is growing more and more and more, and of course we have the beautiful Egberto Willies here that helps you. What do you want?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I don't give you this stuff.
This is the first one I ever got. That's why I was so excited. You know. Hey.
Okay. Well, calm down. But this is the community's home, and truthfully, to be up here because people see that I'm up here a lot, and they ask me. I had to be told yesterday, Don, you got to go home sometime.
Right.
I left at 3, but the thing is, 3 a.m.
I know.
I'm fighting for this place, and I'm not fighting to make it survive. No, I'm fighting to make it grow.
And that's the magic. We are not, you know, it's no longer just about surviving. We want to survive, yes, but we want to grow. We want to give you a real station, not only on air, on the internet. You're going to have us the right way on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, everywhere.
Vimeo,
Twitch, everywhere. Twitch, IGTV, everywhere. So, folks, give us a call, please. You think about this. When you see all these things that are about to happen, you know you are a part of it, because that is the way we are going to inform. We always talk about having to get to the youth, having to get to the younger folks. That is what we're working at, because, you know, it's not, yes, older folks is great, but we have to get to the younger folks if we're going to get that progressive message going.
Yeah, I think
please,
you made the older folks mad today. 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738.
But we need the stability of the older folks to help mold the younger folks. And I am an older folk. If you notice, I refer to these folks as youngsters. I'm an older folk. You have something to tell us?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and thank Mr. Wayne.
Thank you so kindly, Wayne.
And, of course, Edison.
Thank you so kindly, Edison. Now let's continue, folks. The number is 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Please give us a call. We only have 4 minutes left. Give us a call, 713-526-5738. Let me tell you, after you have invested in KPFT, there is a great and good feeling one has. There is that good feeling that you know you are working on something productive, something that has consequences, and something that is going to give back to you. And when I say give back to you, whatever you invest in it, what you get back from us is quite a bit more. 713-526-5738.
And let me make this quick correction.
Yes.
Whenever I said I know it seems, very whatever. We as a station,
I think we understood that.
No, but the thing is it has to be said because we need to be transparent. As a station, we as a station have many people, truthfully, all of the programmers,
right,
all of the people who actually work here. We are not only working so hard to grow the station. We are out in the streets.
Absolutely.
We're marching. We're going to Washington.
I'm going to be in DC next week.
Exactly. We as a station will not keep still.
Right.
We will keep growing. We will keep running. Every step that we take will be a next step towards progression. That's what you're giving towards.
And I want to just come back you up here, brother. And that is whenever you hear us say I, anytime we use I, we always mean I as KPFT, I as that's just what it is. Because over here, this is a real family. If you came out here, this is a real, pretty damn good family. Everybody.
What do you mean if? Y'all need to come out here.
Yeah, you need to. I like that. Come on out here.
Come on home.
Come on and visit, all that kind of stuff. But folks, we need your call. 713-526. I got 3 minutes. 713-526-5738. Why don't you give me a rush on the calls right now? We don't have any more programming. I gave you the blog of the week. The NAACP, 2 young folks came in to say why it is time for some of them to really start. I don't want to say take over the thing, but contribute to the organization. And of course, next week we'll have good stuff as well. So please give us a call, 713-526-5738. We didn't spend all the time pitching today. We went ahead and tried to make sure we gave a pertinent show, a show that was specific to now, something that we had to have going right now. Is that something else or not? 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Go ahead, Don.
I want to thank Francine, but this is more important. Well, also as important, but she says we should not allow Ford's coming up to be in vain. If every woman came forward, we owe it to her to vote.
That is so true. Who said that?
This is from Francine,
Francine, from your mouth, from your lips to America's ears. Thank you so kindly, first of all, for your support. And thank you so kindly for that statement. That is very profound and something I hope everybody is listening to. We have 1.5 minutes. Please give us a call now. We need to make those numbers. 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. We can do it. And by the way, you can also go to kpft.org and donate. And of course, make sure you select Politics Done Right.
And also a new thing, which is Cash App. For those people who do use Cash App and you know about it, it's #sign KPFT Houston. You can Cash App us very easily with #sign. Thank you so much, Susan Darrow, who's coming up next. $sign KPFT Houston. If you know how to use Cash App, you know it's $sign, and you just yelling at me through your radio or however you listen to us.
Yeah, yell at him. He needs some yelling every so often.
No, I don't.
713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Please, folks, give us a call. Let's close out Politics Done Right with a bang. 713 526-5738. We won't play or close out music because I want to keep telling you, please
When
give us
have we
a
ever
call.
played your close out
Seven.
music?
Yeah, I always go long, don't I? 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. And of course, we have the wonderful Borders coming up right now.
Border Radio with Susan Darrow, one of the greatest people.
And
ever.
you know, that voice. And I am this Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right. I'm out. Susan, you're in.
Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is the progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. Remember, you can also send me a tweet to EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right.
1, 2, 3, 4.